In order to grow your channel, you need to get people who are just finding you for the first time to want to subscribe and watch more videos from you in the future. And in this video, we're going to do a channel review, walking you through some very practical ideas of things you can do today on your channel to make it easier for those first-time viewers to want to subscribe. Delana is a strategist on my team, and she's going to be walking you through this channel review. If you'd like to have your channel reviewed, click the join button below this video, become a channel member at the appropriate tier, and we'll add you to the queue to have your channel reviewed sometime in the future.
Hello, my name is Delana and I am one of the strategists on the video creators team. As a new viewer coming to your channel for the first time, I quickly picked up on the fact that you were a channel about Japanese culture and probably sharing some of that Japanese culture, but I saw on your channel banner that it says here sharing and simplifying Japan, and that confused me a little bit. I got the sharing part, but the simplifying part I wasn't quite sure of. On your channel, you want to think about what you're really proposing, right? So what we're really proposing on the channel is a Japanese culture experience. The viewers are going to kind of live vicariously through you to experience Japanese culture. We want to have that really clear on who we're targeting, and you may have that in your mind already of just, this is who I know this channel's for, people who are just in love with Japanese culture. Either they're already really well versed in Japanese culture, or maybe they're just getting started in Japanese culture. And if you're trying to cater to both of them, there are different ways that we can do that with different videos. Having that really clear target audience, is it people just getting into Japanese culture? Is it somebody more advanced in Japanese culture? Are we kind of trying to cater to a little bit of everyone? You're very niche, but I think that you could specify kind of like the subcategories of what that target audience would be so that we can start making content specifically for them. I did write down a couple of things in terms of the sharing and simplifying Japan. I wrote down sharing and experiencing Japanese culture together, helping you experience and understand Japan / Japanese culture, however you want to phrase it. I think a couple of those would better communicate what your overall mission is, because really with the vlogs and everything like that, it's more about the experience of Japan and the Japanese culture than it is about understanding it, even though understanding Japan and Japanese culture will also be integrated into your videos as well. And the reason I bring that up is because one of the most important things that we can do whenever we set up our channels in any way is to know exactly who we're talking to and kind of the subcategories of who those people are. For video creators, for example, we have our overall target audience, really, where it's people who want to grow on YouTube. And then we have subcategories of that where we have people who have a whole business behind their channel and they only really care about getting leads from YouTube. And then we have people who just kind of do it as a hobby. And then we have kind of the middleman, the person who's in between, and we have to cater our content to each one of those categories so that we are satisfying our audience as a whole. I think that's going to be important for you to break down as well for your content, because what that does is that makes the viewer experience much more clear. It's very clear what I'm coming for. It's very clear why this video matters to me or doesn't matter to me, and everything in between. The next thing that I think would bring a lot of momentum to your channel will actually be your titles. So your thumbnails are pretty good. They are very clean, very crisp. There are little things that I think that you could improve on with your thumbnails. Like your branding is very cohesive, which is awesome. But like this thumbnail, for example, the Japanese proposal, warning feels ahead. I think like just blurring out the background, kind of like what you did here where you outlined, I think you could have done the same thing here just to separate you guys kind of from the background so it's a lot more clear. It's not that bad, but for the most part, like your thumbnails, like this one is really good. Japanese marriage proposal, we have a secret. You guys are very separated from the background, and that's really the biggest thing, is anything that's not relevant to the value that we are trying to propose, we want to blur out or block out or anything like that so that it's not distracting and we create a really clear place for the eye to rest on. And then the biggest thing I think really will be the way that you propose the story, especially in your titles. So we have this one here, which is the Japanese proposal, warning feels ahead, #1. If we are trying to propose an experience, we are trying to give our viewers an experience of Japan and an experience into our lives, we're promising them an experience on our channel, right? We want to do that within the title and the thumbnails. Maybe rather than saying Japanese proposal, we say I proposed to my girlfriend in Japan, and that kind of proposes a whole story around it. And then at the end of it, you could put in parentheses feels ahead or something like that. Overall, you just want to see how you can propose that experience to your viewer. And I see creators fall into this trap all the time where we just forget that we know what our video is about, but somebody's scrolling by, finding our channel for the first time, seeing one of our videos and suggested videos for the first time. They know absolutely nothing about our videos, and so we have to give them all the context that we can, propose as much value as we can right up front. So just imagine yourself like, if I knew absolutely nothing about this content, what would I need to know about it in order to get me to click? And just kind of flipping that around and really getting into the viewer's mind and what their journey would be to finding your video and what would really get them into the video. Then another thing that I really found myself wondering as I was watching your videos is I was like, how did this guy end up in Japan? What made him decide to move to Japan? Was it work? Did he move for his girlfriend, does he just love Japanese culture and he was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna up and go to Japan? I found myself wondering all of those questions and also wondering about the journey of the adjustment to going from an American culture to a Japanese culture. And I know that you touched on that a little bit in the 5 things I wish I knew before coming to Japan, and that is what I found myself wanting more of. I would take a pretty good guess that I'm not the only viewer that feels that way. So I think that could be something that's really, really strong in your content in particular, is just kind of sharing a little bit more of that adjustment of going from an American culture to a Japanese culture and kind of comparing the two. Maybe we compare American foods to Japanese foods and how they're different and little things like that. What this brings me to is how important a creation story is in your content, and that is something that we talk about a lot in video labs. It would do you a lot of good to go and create a whole channel trailer that touches on all those things. Maybe it has a compilation of some of your best experiences in Japan, but overall you're kind of narrating it with the story of why you decided to move to Japan and the journey that it's been getting here and adjusting to being here, and kind of what your heart is behind the channel and why you decided to share your experience in Japan with the rest of the world. Because for somebody coming to your channel for the first time, that can instantly help them connect to your mission and your message and get on board with you. It's just so important to connect with that human parts of us in order for us to give you our time and attention. And then the last thing that I really want to drive home for your channel is I think implementing a really, really strong video structure. It typically takes a lot of planning to have a strong video structure, but the way that I like to describe it is you either spend more time planning or you spend more time editing, and it's usually a lot less painful to spend more time planning. The clearer picture that you have of how your video is going to flow, like the 5 things I wish I knew before coming to Japan, that felt like a really, really strong video structure. And with vlogs, the structure can kind of fluctuate a little bit, but you want to kind of have a map out of your day. I'm going to this very special landmark. I want to make sure that I get a side shot, a low shot, a panning shot, little things like that. The better that you understand how your video is going to flow, the more clear the value will come across to your audience. Those things are really going to be the main things that I think will really help to catapult your channel.
We would love to dive into your channel with you in a private one-on-one video conference call and really just help you figure out what the next steps you need to take to get more views, more subscribers, and make more money on your channel. There's a link in the description below, or you can click the little box you see popping up over here to go to our website and book a session, get on our calendar, and can't wait to dive into your channel with you in one of those consultations. See you guys then.